Tamara Taylor's latest challenge on Mount Everest might be her most breathtaking. But the second most capped Englishwoman has had more than her fair share of rugby adventures. 4 World Cups and a winner's medal, just some of the achievements that make up an illustrious career, which started in a boys' PE class.
It was basically a boys' school that was just starting to take girls. So it was taking sisters of boys that were there. So I was the only girl in my class, the only girl in my year, and they didn't have any girls' sports set up. They'd been like a very traditional boys' school. So I joined in with the PE lessons, and they weren't really sure whether I should be doing contact rugby or not, because I was a girl and it wasn't very kind of well defined. So I did little bits and pieces. I'd go and watch my brother play all the time. And then he stalker on the sidelines, thinking I knew everything about rugby, watching him. And at 15, he played at Henley Rugby Club, and a women's team started, and I saw a poster for it. So that was pretty much the end of anything else being in my brain. I didn't have a junior team to play in, so at 15, I was allowed to train with the senior women's team. And I'm quite big, but I was a tiny little, skinny little, when I was 15, 16, probably about 20 kilos lighter than I am now. And there were some big, big ladies in our league. My kind of overriding memory is I'd started in the backs and then I moved to the forwards after about a year, and I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I was just running around following the ball. And I used to just have the most horrific bruises on my legs because I was probably just lying on the floor at the breakdown. But there just seemed to be a lot more foot on leg contact at the breakdown. Definitely loads more than there is now. It's quite a clean game now in comparison. But it definitely wasn't common. I was the only girl at my senior school that played rugby that had anything to do with it. So it was, yeah, it's come a long way since then. Although I still get frustrated that it's not moving very quickly. I think back to when I was 15, 16 years old. Yeah, I had very different perceptions and stereotypes around the women's game. So I got named back in the EPS, which was cool. I was like, yeah, I'll have some of this time. And then got named on the tour to New Zealand. I was like, oh my God. I honestly thought I was going to be the first England player to go on a tour and not be capped. But thankfully, I played in the midweek game and then I was on the bench for the final test. I was like, oh my God, I don't want to go on, I don't want to go on, I don't want to go on. I don't remember anything about the game. Absolutely nothing about the game at all. Just got through 25 minutes of it. We tightened up the scoreline so we didn't get smashed by quite as much, and I thought, oh, do you know what? Actually, they're good, but we could do something here. There was the big expectation. We were at the Stoop. It was absolutely rammed. All I can remember is the girls doing the haka, the Kiwis doing the haka, and people in the crowd started singing Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. And I never really thought we were going to lose all the way through the game until I came off and I sat on the sideline, and I've never felt so helpless and useless. And I could feel it like slipping out of my hands. Yeah, that was really, really hard. We'd been so close and I was absolutely devastated. I cried for a large period of time. So to get another chance to do something like that, I really didn't want to throw it away. So I was probably in the best shape that I've ever been in leading into that World Cup. I still wasn't 100% confident in my rugby, but I probably never will be. But it was super important. And we were lucky that the group of players we had and the backroom staff worked in the right places to do the right thing to make sure we got that win.
England are the world champions of 2014.
Sadly, 2017 wasn't quite the same, and actually looking back on that, I probably put too much emphasis on that win and beating New Zealand in the final, and it's everything else that goes into that 4-year cycle and the highs and the lows. And I got a bit obsessed with, we need to beat New Zealand in the final.
England have fought, but they just didn't have enough, and New Zealand are World Cup champions in 2017.
And when you get a bit obsessed with the goal and you don't enjoy the bits in between, it makes it a really hard fall, and probably still not over 2017 actually. But it took me ages, really did take me ages to get over that. From a personal point of view, probably every international I've ever played, And we went through a phase of winning a lot of internationals. I always thought, yeah, but would that beat New Zealand? Yeah, but if that was New Zealand, would that have worked? Yeah, but if that was New Zealand, yeah, but what would New Zealand be doing? Because I think for me and probably realistically for the team, they have always been the kind of nemesis for us. I wanted to play out this season, see how my ankle held up, see how my body felt at the end of it. But I really want to do a pre-season. That sounds weird, doesn't it? I've not really had a pre-season, like not a proper one, because we've always had a summer tour, always. Like this last summer has been the only time I haven't had a summer tour and I've not been injured, so it's just like, I don't know, I quite like the challenge of it. I want to see if I can get myself fit, and I just don't know how I'm going to feel come that second week of pre-season. And when September pulls around again, I'm going to be 38 in October, and I don't know, is that too old? Just really like rugby, and I like that you can get a tiny little person and a massive person, that you can have, like we had today, a 17-year-old and a 37-year-old on the same pitch. And I just don't think that there's many sports that you get that. Such a combination of different people, different types of people, different backgrounds, and there's something really cool about that. I like it. I just think even if I went into the real world, the non-rugby world, I would still be coaching or playing or helping a coach to coach.